even if you don't believe in it, even if you think you're no good at it, even if you throw your hands up and you say, I'm throwing in the towel, forget it. It's not like all of a sudden now you're not manifesting. You are manifesting. It just may not be exactly what it is you would like to see, quote unquote, like come in, you know? Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the bell. So anytime any new content is uploaded, you will be the first to know about it, you guys. But this is just a reminder to you that your manifestation is closer than you know. Okay, you guys, so stop giving up just before you cross that finish line. Okay, you plant those seeds of manifestation, and then we're like digging it up every day, every week, looking and checking for growth, you guys. So I want you guys to cut that out. You are closer, much closer to your manifestation than you know. You know, you can think of your manifestation literally as seeds. I may have given this analogy before, you guys, but like think of it as like, you know, if you were to plant a seed into a garden, would you the next day dig it up, checking for growth? Or even like the next week, would you be digging up that seed and checking and looking? No, you wouldn't. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. I hope you wouldn't, because you would know that the moment that you plant that seed into the ground, that there's magic that's actually happening beneath the surface. Okay, there's a lot of life and a lot of magic that's taking place. That seed eventually it's bursting open, and there's roots that are coming out, that are taking root deeper into the ground, into the soil, saplings, getting ready to come up to the surface. And you would know that you don't want to interrupt that process. Okay, dig it up, replant it, dig it up, replant it. You would rest assured, you would have a certain quiet confidence that that is going to eventually take root, and you are going to see some life, some growth. And your manifestations are the exact same way, you guys. It operates the same way. Like anything in nature, right? Even though we like to force it, it would be so great if we could and make it come up at a certain, time super quickly. But again, like I said, there's a lot of magic that is happening behind the surface. And you guys have to remember and know and believe that the universe is continuously working, is continuously conspiring on your behalf to bring you your manifestation, okay? And I know that we are logically wired. We need a lot of times those breadcrumbs of evidence that, encourages us and reminds us that what we're doing, or just, validates that what we've been doing is working, okay? And that gives us encouragement to keep going. But with manifestation, it has a heavy weight on your ability to continue, right? Even when you cannot see any evidence, okay? To have that blind faith, to be able to believe in the unseen. And, personally, I think of a lot of like the manifestation gurus as, being obviously incredibly like skilled and knowledgeable, but they are really individuals that have been able to master the belief in the unseen. And yes, there are, a lot of moving parts when it comes to manifestation, right? There's visualization, scripting, words of affirmation, a lot of those different things. But if none of them would actually work and be effective if you are not able to stay aligned and have that belief in the unseen. If you can continue to move forward, even when the 3D, okay, which we've already talked about, is not real time. It's real time, but it's not real time, right? Real time would actually be more like the 5D, 4D. And this is just, like obviously one of the more slower, denser dimensions to move through. I might put up the little chart there for you guys to look at. But it's really just to kind of keep moving through that. And obviously, easier said than done, you guys, but I don't want you guys to beat yourselves up the moment you realize that you're out of alignment, okay? Because being human, most of us are going to be out of alignment from time to time. We just are. I think it would be very like strange if you were never out of alignment, okay? But I don't want you guys to think that the moment that you are, that now all of a sudden your manifestation is not going to come in, because it is. And one of the it'll come in. It's just when you're out of alignment, it may take longer, right? But when you do find that you are out of alignment, just very lovingly and gently get yourself back into alignment, okay? Take be self-aware. You want to audit your inner talk, your inner speech. How are you speaking to yourself? What are your thoughts like? Are they, thoughts of scarcity, right? Are you in that lack mindset, the one that does not have that manifestation? Or are you even thinking like the one? Are you thinking like the one that has it? And if you are, then it should come with a certain quiet confidence, because like, regardless of what the 3D world is showing you, right? You're not going to react to everything that, happens in the 3D. You're going to stop reacting because you're going to have that quiet confidence. So you're not going to beat yourself up or have that inner speech that is in that lack, mindset. But you're going to be much more self-aware. So that means that you want to really audit, how do you speak? Are you speaking with someone that has the confidence of the one that has that manifestation, right? If you just knew without a doubt that what it is that you desire is coming, would you still move the same way? Or would you feel much more freer to move with confidence, or, really try to embody? Embodiment is huge, and it may feel fake at first for some, right? Because maybe there is a certain, you're not fully on board with the belief. You want it, but you're not. But if you do it enough, right, really step into it, embody as much as you possibly can. Hopefully that will, start to leak into that subconscious mind that will, reinforce that you are more than worthy of the one that has that manifestation. Okay. And that manifestation wants you just as much as you want it. Okay. So definitely stop throwing in the towel before, you don't want to do that. You don't want to dig up the seeds before, the manifestation can take root. And then also, you guys, one of the cool things that I think about manifestation, and it's also kind of funny when you think about it, you do not have to believe in manifestation in order for it to work. Okay. You don't have to, it's not one of those like, oh, I believe in it. I'm a manifester. Manifestation is something that we do 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay. And we're doing it on autopilot. So, and you're at the steering wheel, whether you're aware of it consciously or not. I personally think it's a good idea to be conscious at the wheel. That way you are able to steer that vehicle, steer that ship in the direction that you want it to head, right? In the direction that is that fulfillment of whatever that dream desire is. And, or you could be unconscious at the wheel and, have it on cruise control or whatever, and, land where you land. Only difference is it may be not exactly where you want it. So I say, stop. You may as well, instead of like throwing your hands up and say, hey, I give up, forget it, whatever. It's not like all of a sudden now, because you say you give up, you're not manifesting. Difference is you just may be manifesting not exactly what you want. Okay. Because now you're out of alignment with what it is that you do want. So I say, with that in mind, the fact that you're going to be manifesting regardless, 24 hours, you're doing it anyway, you may as well put in a little effort to make it towards something that you actually do want. Okay. But we're all walking, talking, magnificent manifestors. So you may as well, creators with the ability to manifest. So you may as well, put in some effort toward it. And I've also used this as an example. I like to use like the world as being a social media platform, right? And you could think of like or the world or the universe as being like a social media platform, and, with an algorithm, and it's continuously reacting to where you put your focus, right? So if you are focused, just like, any social media platform, you stop, you click on a video, you're watching the video, or you click on an image, you're looking at an image, you're going to start to see more of those types of videos, more of those types of images in your news feed. And that's because you gave it focus. You could have kept scrolling, but you didn't. You stopped, you watched, you looked at it, and you gave it attention. And because of that, the platform, right, the algorithm is reacting. And the one of the cool things I think is that nothing is fixed, right? It feels like it is a lot of times, but nothing is fixed. There's continuous movement. The universe is continuously reacting. That algorithm is continuously reacting to your attention. So again, like I said, you want to really, not in a toxic way, but you do want to be self-aware, where you are like really, taking inventory. How are you in alignment, right? Because regardless whether you want it or not, whether it's positive or negative, that algorithm is going to react to your focus, to what your whatever your present alignment is. Okay, so you may as well, like I say, put in a little effort and make it where it's at least aligned, hopefully, with what it is, the desired outcome that you want. And like I say, do not beat yourself up the moment you realize you're not in alignment, okay? Because you're human, so more than likely from time to time you will be, but you just want to very gently, calmly put yourself back into alignment. And yeah, you guys got this. You guys got this. And again, do check out some of Neville Goddard's lectures. You guys, really super fascinating stuff. There's a lot of other, gurus, manifestation gurus that you guys can check out and listen to. But, as much as you can, just stop digging up those seeds, you guys, okay? But I hope that you guys found this video helpful, useful. This is, like I say, just a reminder that you are much closer than you know, okay? Much, much closer than you know. So don't give up, throw your hands up before you cross that finish line, you guys. But anyway, give this video a big old thumbs up if you found it helpful or useful. Do share it with anyone who you may know that may need to hear it, okay? As well as leave lots of comments down below, you guys. I do say that a comment that you leave, it may be divine timing. Maybe someone else needed to hear it right at that perfect time. Super helpful, useful. Lots of comments, you guys. Like I say, we are all on this journey together, even if our, manifestations may look very different across the board. We're still, all on this journey together, you guys. But I love you guys. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.